Good morning, friends. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Sir Abdul Sattar Khan. 11th English 2.4 upon Westminster's Bridge, Brainstorming and Question Answer. 2.4 11th Standard Westminster Bridge. इसके क्वेश्चन आंसर देखेंगे. चलिए शुरुआत करते हैं. A1 for preparing questions based on the poem. On overall understanding of the poem, what is the name of the bridge? What is the name of the day? How does London look from Westminster Bridge? Why does the poet feel so amazed? Identify the poetic device used by poet in the poem. What does the poet mean by the last two lines? Why does the poet call the air smokeless? A2. Choose the correct alternative for the given lines. Focus on the inference of the poet. Earth has not anything to show more fair. इसका आंसर है The poet thinks that there is no place on the earth which is as beautiful as this one. Second है B. Dull would be of soul who could pass by. इसका आंसर है Anyone with an appreciative mind would not be able to ignore the beauty. Second, earth has not anything to show more fair. The line expresses the poet's feelings. The sight he saw from the bridge is beautiful. There are a few more lines similar to the above. With the help of your partner, find them and discuss what they express. Third, the poem creates a delightful picture of the city, rich in its natural beauty. Work in pairs, groups, and pick out the lines from the poem which give the pictorial effect to the poem. Write in your own words. The city now doth like a garment wear the beauty of morning. The poet describes the beauty of the city in the early hours of morning. As the sun rises, the rays of the sun begin to cover the landscape, as if the morning were a garment being worn by the city. Near saw I never felt a calm so deep. The poet viewed the morning beauty of the London city. As it is early morning, everything is quiet, silent and calm. A feeling of profound peace was felt by him. Ships, towers, domes, theatres and temples lie. Poet creates a delightful picture of London city by depicting ships, towers, domes, theatres, domes vividly in front of our eyes. These structures lie open to the clear sky and glitter brightly in the sunshine. Never did sun more beautifully sleep. Poet is looking morning view of the city from the bridge, and he is amazed by this view. He had never imagined such a beautiful view of the city. Find out the words and phrases which describe the following. Sight touching in its majesty. Sight touching it in its majesty. Air smokeless, river glideth at his own will. Houses seems asleep. Morning silent and bare. Sun bright glittering. Read the line, the city now doth like a garment wear. The poet imagines that the city is wearing a beautiful garment, hence the figure of his speech is personification. Find out more examples of personification from the poem. Dull would he be of soul who could pass by. This line of the poem can be rewritten as he would be of dull soul. The figure of his speech is known as inversion. Find out one more example of inversion from the poem. The city doth like a garment wear. Personification. Poet imagines that the city is wearing a beautiful garment. The river glided at his own sweet will. Personification. The river is personified as moving along its own pace, its waters not disturbed so early by a ship. Dull would be of soul who could pass by. Inversion. The order of the words are changed for poetic effect. Near saw I never felt a calm so deep. Inversion. The order of words are changed for poetic effect. The poem is a Petrarchan sonnet. The poem is divided into two parts, an octave. The first part of comprising 8 lines, a sestet, the second part comprising 6 lines. Read the first 4 lines of the poem. The rhyme scheme is A, B, B, A. Read the rhyme scheme for the next 4 lines. It is A, B, B, A. Now read the first 3 lines of the sestet and note the rhyme scheme. It is C, D, C. The rhyme scheme of the last 3 lines is D, C, D. This is the common design of a Petrarchan sonnet. What is the Petrarchan Sonnet? The poem upon Westminster Bridge is Petrarchan Sonnet. The poem is divided into two parts, an octave and a sestet. The rhyme scheme of the next four lines is A, B, B, A. The rhyme scheme of the sestet for first three lines is C, D, C and D, C, D for last three lines. This is the common design of Petrarchan sonnet. This is the Petrarchan sonnet. Complete the given table by giving example from the poem, features and examples and lines. Objects used: sun, ships, towers, temples, theaters, domes, fields, sky, houses, river. Praise, blame, fair earth, dull soul, bright calm. Metaphor and all that my heart is lying still. Simile, river glided at his own will, houses seems asleep. Personification, the city now doth like a garment wear. Number of lines 14. Rhyme scheme A B B A B B A C D C C D C D. The pride of any city is its skyline. Write 5 lines about the place where you live and what makes you feel proud of it. I live in Malegaon city, Maharashtra's cotton capital. Malegaon is also known as city of power loom. Unity in diversity is the main feature of my city. Our city is situated at the banks of Girna and Mausam river. Cloth woven is Malegaon have a big demand in India. There is a common belief that the cities have always flourished only after human intrusion over nature. Write a speech expressing your opinion about it. Compose a poem on an imaginary village settled on the bank of a river like a queen. Write an appreciation of the sonnet. A speech. Good morning everyone. Today I am going to talk about flourishing of cities and human intrusion over nature. It is our wrong belief that we can only flourish after intrusion over nature. In the process of building cities and adding their development, the beauty of nature is often ruined. To provide land and resources for the growth of human or commercial settlements, we often encroach upon the habitats of animals and other creatures which call nature their home. Needs of cities are limitless. They produce large amount of pollution, depletion of natural resources like water, trees and extinction of several species. We should always remember that we can only survive if nature survives. Building of cities with the coexistence of nature and preserving its beauty is not impossible task. We should learn to grow 5 trees while cutting a single tree. Our building plans must be eco-friendly. We should dedicate sufficient space for wildlife or birds. Renewable resources and their effective use can help us to avoid pollution. We should find out alternatives for non-renewable resources. At the administrative level, government should be strict about the implementation of laws against nature. Harm things which are hazardous to nature should be banned. Licenses or permissions for industries should be given very carefully. We should unite, come together for such a valuable cause. Otherwise, the day is not far off when the world war will be fought for water. We cannot challenge nature in any way because nature is supreme power. It will destroy us. I am highly thankful for providing such opportunity to deliver a speech on such an important issue. Thank you. Poem composed by settled on the bank of a river like a queen is my beautiful village full of bushes green. The river is quiet and calm. Ships are still. Sun is rising with its glow. Birds are flying in their will. Appreciation of the poem. About the poem, poet title Upon Westminster's Bridge is a Petrarchan sonnet by William Wordsworth. Poet described early morning of London city, a view from the Westminster's Bridge. Theme. The theme of the poem is basically to admire the peace and calmness of the London city. Before the busy city wakes up to its daily routine, everything is glittering in the sunlight as morning is absolutely smokeless. Poetic style. This poem is a Petrarchan sonnet. The language is simple and easy to understand. The traditional rhyme pattern A-B-B-A for octave and D-C-D-C, D-C-D pattern for sestet is used. Use of imagery and use of different figures of speech adds beauty to the poem. Personification metaphor adds beauty to the poem. Special features: the poem is a Petrarchan sonnet having 14 lines which are divided into two sections, octave and sestet, 8 plus 6 lines. The octave presents in details the city of the London at dawn, and sestet the overflowing emotions of disbelief, for the calm of the sleeping city is expressed with so much praise. Values, message: the simplicity and frankness of the language that is devoid of any lofty idea make the poem pleasant. The poet uses his sense of sight and flair for expression to present a panoramic view of London. Your opinion about the poem? Poem appears more beautiful because of the clarity in nature, written in simple language and expresses the importance of nature. Write a summary of the sonnet. Refer to the earlier poems for the points to be covered. While building a bridge, a group of people come together. They are architects, designers, engineers, masons, politicians, building material suppliers, carpenters. Write about the qualification of these people. Choose any career from the list. Summary. Title: Poem Sonnet upon Westminster's Bridge is composed by William Wordsworth. It is a Petrarchan sonnet consisting octave and sestet. The title very much gives us idea about the poem, a description of the river and city from the bridge. Introductory paragraph: the poet begins by describing a majestic scene that he has set his eyes upon the city of London in the wee hours of morning from the Westminster's Bridge. He describes the beauty of the early morning sun adoring the city with sunshine and observes the silence and stillness of the city before its people awake. The poet observes that the air is not polluted because it is early in the day and work hasn't begun. He describes the beginning of a new day with first rays falling on the sleeping city and notices how even the river flows calmly at its own pace. Main body: central idea. Poet paints a beautiful picture of the city where everything is quiet and calm. The person who would be heartless who went past without admiring the beauty of nature. In the morning, the city lies asleep in this glittering, quiet as it is heart is still. He finally ends the poem by calling out to God in sheer amazement and refers sleeping city of London as mighty heart. Conclusion: the poem is a beautiful comparison between a city and nature and how both have a calming effect on a person who they are observed in the silence of a morning. Poem proves that the Wordsworth was a true nature poet. The use of simple language makes it easy to understand. Your choice of careers and skill qualification: architects' ability to imagine and think critically to analyze everything in detail, a bachelor's master's degree in architect; designers, designing ability of the structure according to requirement and its use; engineers, ability to think practically, innovative thinking, think about strength and quality of the bridge; officers, coordinate with above three and provide facilities regarding the work; masons, actually build the structure as per the instructions received; politicians, providing finance for the project and facilities for the people; building material suppliers, supply the material as per the demand in stipulated time; कारपेंटर्स, वर्क रिलेटेड विथ वुड। उम्मीद है आपको हमारा वीडियो पसंद आया होगा। अगले वीडियो में दोबारा मुलाकात होगी। खुदा हाफिज़।